Hey guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Genevieve, aka the Keto Goddess Castonguay, and if you're joining me, that means that you are following up on hashtag my keto pregnancy. This is week 13. So in honor of this week, I am changing everything up. So if you went to my blog post, you'll see that the whole format has been redone because I was looking at last week and I was like, you know what's great? What's great is that I recounted over 12 pages, friends, everything that went through that week. But looking at it from the outsider perspective, I was like, you know what? It's not functional. You guys are looking on there to see what kind of food you're doing. It's my keto pregnancy. What kind of fitness are you doing? How are you keeping up? How are you feeling? So what I've done is I've condensed everything. I've even made some charts. So you're going to want to head over to the blog at any point just to catch up on each of the weeks. It's ketobetterlife.com/blog. That's where you're going to find everything. It's going to be awesome. So first of all, you guys might notice that I'm wearing dark lipstick. And if you know me at all, I don't wear dark lipstick. Like literally the entire time right now, I'm kind of like, what am I doing? But the reason I'm doing this is because this week, the baby turned into a spicy jalapeno. And because I shook everything up, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to film this in the backdrop of the kitchen where all of the magic happens. I'm going to wear some dark lipstick. All right, so even the videos are gonna change today. I'm gonna follow along and do some voiceovers, and I'm gonna take you through kind of day by day what my food looked like, and also show you more up close the pictures. I think you guys are really gonna appreciate that because that's where it's at, is the food. I'm also gonna intersplice that with some videos, funny videos of me working out and dancing. Yes, I incorporated a lot of dance this week to get in my cardio. And man, did I ever burn the calories. And I'm not just talking about calories, but like I burn fat. And people are like, Jen, are you really trying to burn fat right now? And let me just tell you, keeping my metabolism high, preserving that lean muscle, still supporting my baby with all of the calories that I'm eating, I definitely can afford to burn some fat as well as the fat that I'm consuming. So don't be concerned about that. The theme of this week is self-care. And if you read the blog in the first paragraph, I talk about how I struggled a bit with that this week. I did kind of a little bit of balance by the end of the week, but by day 2, which was Tuesday, I had a full day of work. It was the end of the month. And if you guys ever work in a network marketing job or selling products, you know the end of the month is crunch time. And I have a big team with Prove It, and I love them so much. So I was trying to empower them and also my customers to get the deals. But the issue is that I took away from my self-care. I didn't move that day. I was like constantly having screen time. And what had happened? It ended up resulting in not having good proper sleep, not eating the best that I possibly could, and just feeling drained. But the good news is, out of all of the days, I ended up still getting a lot of movement in. There was only 2 days that I didn't do exercise, and that's a really big accomplishment because the week before there was 3 days off. And so this one, I was going into it with the mindset of, okay, even the active rest days, just keep yourself moving because you're ultimately going to feel better. You're raising those happy hormones, and that's what it's all about, guys. Pregnant or not pregnant. So I'm following this awesome workout regime. It incorporates a lot of lifting. I love powerlifting. I know I've said this in my previous posts before, but it just gives me a sense of empowerment. And for me, seeing any sort of muscle definition or striations, even while pregnant, is really, really fun. And it just shows me that I can be strong and healthy at the same time. But I also like to incorporate some cardio, and I hate steady state. Like, I hate it. So I'm either doing some HIIT intervals. My energy is peaking right now. So I'm like, man, why not take advantage of it while the baby is still small enough and just bouncing around a little bit to do some HIIT intervals on the treadmill or dancing. Okay, so I did like 50-minute dance workouts, and you guys might think it's silly, and I do look a little bit silly, but here's the deal. When you burn 500 calories dancing in under an hour, it is absolutely friggin' worth it to look silly. So I encourage you guys to find whatever kind of exercise works for you. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As long as you're moving and you're getting that movement in and you feel good about it, then definitely crush it. So a question that I've been getting a lot lately is, are you still drinking your ketones? And you guys know that I promote it all the time. I talk about it and I talk about how safe it is. And the answer is absolutely. This week, I almost exclusively had the Keto Max Key Limeade. It's also being renamed Lime Time. It's right now in the Max formula, but it's being switched over to Nat. So the natural formula just means that the ketones are going to be from a naturally fermented source. So I'm actually really pumped about that. But why did I do that one? Well, I had the most amount of packets of that in the decaf version. And because I'm really limiting my caffeine to only having a cup of coffee a day with my keto cream or as a bulletproof, I did the decaf. And what I've been finding is people ask me, what time of day do you take it? So generally I take it all different types of the day, but because I'm finding I'm doing my workouts a little bit later in the day, which is not at all like me, I'm taking my ketones a little bit later on. So for instance, I took it today at 2:30 p.m. and did a workout around 5 p.m. And I was supercharged, and now, going late into the night, well, guess what? I feel incredible, and I have a ton of energy going in and then going to bed with restful sleep. So ketones, still really safe in my book. I've done a lot of research about it. And for anybody who's breastfeeding or pregnant and has questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me here, or you can check out my website. I know you're waiting for it. And before we go through all of the different food, all of the exercise day by day, and showing you the pictures with the voiceovers, which I know you're gonna love, I just wanna recount a little bit of my week from a personal level, also how I felt in business-wise. So I talked to you about Tuesday, a little bit lacking in self-care. Mondays for me are always solid. Did shoulders, did that awesome HIIT workout. It felt great. I listened into some Prove It calls and talked to our CEO of the company, learning about all this innovation coming, including these natural energy drinks, which you guys are gonna love. If you ever drink like a Red Bull or a Monster, but it's full of stuff in it, I shouldn't name names, but other energy drinks that have things in it that are not necessarily beneficial for your body, look out for Keto Up. It's gonna be incredible. I'll share more later. But that being said, I did go into my week and I had a couple of late nights because impromptu friends came over. But I did actually make sure that if I did stay up late, I slept in a little bit the next day. I'm lucky to have that opportunity to do that sometimes based on the type of work that I choose to do. So I did practice some self-care, and the best part, the highlight of the week, had to be Thursday. So Thursday, I hosted something at the Natural Food Pantry. It was called a Keto Night Out. So you guys know I do workshops, I do talks around Ottawa, but this was different. Because Bruce, who is the chef at the Natural Food Pantry in Barhaven, him and his team, like incredible bakers, chefs, they even own the Love My Buns baking brand, which is incredible. And I literally picked up some while I was there, and I used it profusely all week long, which you'll notice in the food. But I was the host of this 3-course ketogenic meal that also featured some sparkling mocktails, bulletproof coffee, decadent chocolate, bone broth with shirataki, seared beef with a cauliflower gratin, and green beans and cutlets and all of this stuff, and it was delicious. So that was definitely one of the highlights of the entire week, was to be able to host that and see how much joy food, healthy food, keto food can bring to people. Okay, I think I'd also be amiss if I didn't at least mention Super Bowl Sunday. I am not a huge football fan, but when it comes to big face-offs like this, especially with the Patriots, I absolutely had to watch. So funny enough, about a few weeks into football, I just picked a team randomly, one of them that was doing really well, and that was the Rams. So I don't have a specific team, and I chose the Rams and Jared Goff, and I was like, okay, they're gonna go for it. Did I follow along all season? No, I'm not gonna pretend to be on board the whole time, but when they made it to the Super Bowl, I was like, I gotta watch this. So I made some delicious food, which you're about to see, and it was a really, really fun night just with some friends. And you know what, big sporting events like that, even if you're not a fan, you gotta tune in, you just have to. And so yeah, that was definitely one of the highlights as well, was just getting together with some people, relaxing, unwinding, self-care, good food. What else can you expect? So here it is, guys. This is my brand new tracker. Okay, I absolutely love it. It looks super scientific, but I'm just gonna walk you through it. And then what we're gonna do is look at the food, because I know that's what you guys are here for. But this is a good way for anyone to really keep track of the calories in their net carbs, protein, and fat. And especially since I'm doing keto or low carb throughout this pregnancy, it's awesome to see the trends that are going on for me personally. So this is week 13, and as you can see, we start Monday and we go all the way to Sunday. Now, Monday we start off here, and I actually had a little bit of a boo-boo, if you'd like to say. I didn't fully track all of the calories for my dinner, but I estimated it. So it was about 2,400 calories for the day, which this week I found myself being a lot higher. And there was a couple factors. One was my cravings were really kicking in. Two, I had an event that really took it over the edge. You can see her on Thursday. But also I was burning a lot more calories, and I wanted to make sure I was more at maintenance level versus a deficit based on the fact that I'm growing a human. So as you can see here, I am keeping my fat super high, nothing under 168 grams. This is all in grams. My carbs these are my net carbohydrates, so removing the fiber and the sugar alcohols. And I actually stayed under 50 grams net, which is fantastic. I wanted to do between 30 and 50 grams net carbs for this pregnancy, going a little bit higher than I typically would, but getting in there some healthy fruit that I wasn't doing previously. And then my protein, you guys are going to notice it's quite high. A lot of people don't need it. It's actually really great to support your baby's development with additional protein throughout the pregnancy. So I'm keeping my ratios fairly good, usually about, 65 to 75% coming from fats. Protein is higher, 25%, and then, 5 to 10% being carbs. So overall, the whole week went really well. I had some days that were, 2,200. This is the only day, the Thursday, that I was at the natural food pantry, that it ended up being, quite high, but that's because I had a 3-course meal filled with dinner, and it was amazing, and I still ended up burning quite a lot. So all in all, fantastic. I actually have a chart to follow that's going to show you a bit about the exercise, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the food. All right, I did it again with another chart, okay? You guys might laugh at me, but honestly, I found it to be really helpful. So what I did here was track my exercise, and it actually went backwards. I was trying to figure out this chart. Doesn't really matter. Either way, it's 7 days of exercise. So I have it from the Monday through the Sunday, and I have it under calories burned throughout that exercise period and the duration, how long I worked out for. So as I noted, there was 2 days I didn't work out, 5 days that I did, between 27 minutes up to 63 minutes. So half an hour to an hour max. And it was phenomenal. And you can see that you don't need that much time to still burn some calories throughout your day. And so on average, I'd say about 350 calories burned each session, since there was one that had a whole bunch. That was my dance one, 546. So I love seeing this. And what you find down here is the duration of time down here. So I have duration and the amount of calories. And this is really good for me to track week over week, just to see how I'm doing. Am I staying on pace? Am I keeping the right amount of calories in versus calories out, as well as burning, just for the pregnancy health, but also just for my general health. So I love this. I think it's great, and I'm excited to continue to share with you. Okay, we are at my favorite part. This is a walkthrough day by day of all the food, and then I'm going to intersplice it with, guess what? Pictures of the food, because I know that's what you're here for. You don't want to just see pie charts all day, right? You want to see pie. So anyways, that's actually kind of ironic, because day one, there is a pie in there. That being said, I start off my morning with Swiss Cacao Max. So that is a ketone, and I mix that in a smoothie with cacao powder, avocado, coconut milk, and I have a side of spinach and eggs. Moving into lunch, a delicious salad. I love doing salads very light, because I usually actually have a pretty heavy breakfast and a heavy dinner. So my lunches are consisting of snacks as well as salads. I love it. Lots of variety every single day. But here we go. Dinner time. That's where the magic happens. I was craving, like dying for keto shepherd's pie. Okay, so if you guys know me at all, when I crave something, I have to go for it. So I got fatty, we got in the car, we went to Costco, we got all the ingredients we needed. We were running low on food anyways, so we got some stuff. I came home, I made keto shepherd's pie, and we ate it, and it was delicious. And throughout the day, had some other stuff, coconut manna, just by the spoonful. If you've never tried it, it's coconut butter, it's delicious. Had another keto, and this one was a raspberry lemonade decaf version, and had some guac and cheese with eggs because why not? So that was Monday. Tuesday, awesome, we move on. Bulletproof coffee. I was out of keto cream until later on that week, so I did a typical bulletproof, usually ghee, coconut oil, amazing. Diced up some Brussels sprouts, onion, tomato with fried eggs and bacon. I'm a pretty basic breakfast person, but why not? When it's that good, why go wrong? Lunchtime, salad again. I really love this salad. I had this smoked Gouda cheese. It was delicious. Gouda is really high in vitamin K, so great for the pregnancy, and I added some hemp hearts, awesome for women's health, and add some fat in there. And then dinner time, we were working super late. That's the day that I had little self-care, but I took an hour off. I made these ground pork burgers with guac, sour cream, bacon, Gouda on a bed of greens. I put it in a little to-go thing. I went over to the shop where Fatty was working, and we ate together, and it was delicious and perfect. And as you guys are starting to see my trend, I like smoothies. Honestly, prior to the pregnancy, I probably had one smoothie a month. Now I'm having them daily, but they're great. So frozen raspberries, unsweetened, coconut milk, cacao, almond milk, peanut butter, and I had a Keto Max lime decaf around midday for mitigating the crashes. So moving on to Wednesday, had an awesome day. Bulletproof coffee, eggs with some kimchi. I like doing some gut health stuff, and spinach. Moving into my signature sesame sweet salad. I say that because it is like a hit. It's also called the easy broccoli salad, but I changed mine up. The difference is that I use sesame oil, sesame seeds, and a bit of sweetener, usually monk fruit. So it gives it a little bit of a sweet flavor. It pairs really well with all of the greens and all of the vegetables and the additives that you put on. So I definitely included some mayo, some peppers, bacon, cucumber, broccoli, tomatoes, field greens. It was delectable. And then at night, well, guess what? I broke out the Instant Pot, used some chicken thighs that literally just melt in my mouth with some broth, green beans, cream, butter, Brussels sprouts, had a Max decaf lime halfway through the day again to get me through my workout. And yes, I'm a smoothie-aholic, so Greek yogurt this time, raspberries, almond butter instead of peanut butter, and my midday snack, I used some konjac noodles, which are also known as shirataki noodles, to make a mac and cheese. I used some of the Gouda, but I also used nutritional yeast, which, if you guys don't know, it's like a vegan version of their little flakes, and they can taste very much like cheese. So I added them on top with some sour cream and made my own concoction, and it was quite good. Okay, moving into Thursday, you would think having a 3-course meal at night that you wouldn't eat a whole lot during the day, but no, I still ate a lot. So I started off with bacon and eggs and a bulletproof coffee. Then I had an avocado and egg salad. I know I like my salads, guys. I even have a little progression to show you how I put it all together. So take a look at this. Then at dinner, oh my goodness, I will try to get through this. There was breaded turkey cutlets, bacon-wrapped avocado, and quesadilla pinwheels. There was this bone broth soup with shirataki noodles and these pea sprouts and radish sprouts. It gave it this delicious flavor. I wouldn't even have thought of that, but the chefs were incredible. Seared steak atop a cauliflower gratin with green beans. And for dessert, a little shot of bulletproof coffee, decaf, with some whipped cream, and a decadent, rich chocolate cake with a little fudge fat bomb on top. So man, that's the day I went over my calories, but oh boy, was it worth it. And on the way over there, surprisingly enough, you think that's not enough, but I started my day off with less calories. So I actually picked up a Quest bar, which is not optimal for keto, but it's not the worst, on the way over to do my big talk and the dinner. So I had that, and of course, another decaf Max. Moving into Friday and the weekend, I had picked up at the Natural Food Pantry a bunch of items since I was there doing my hosting gig. And so one of them was this keto focaccia bread. And I love every once in a while having a bread, and they're great to make on your own. But if there's one pre-made that has the herbs and the texture, then why not? So I used it, had a slice with almond butter, and then I made another one with a fried egg, cheese, avocado, and mayo. It was so good. And then halfway through my day, I, was going to just do this tiny little sandwich, but I ended up eating half of Fatty's egg salad sandwich because I was on the road and on the go all day. So I was pretty hungry, and I snagged that, and it was really delicious. Then made some chicken strips breaded with my Love My Buns mix, and that is also a signature brand by Natural Food Pantry. It's kind of like a paleo keto baking mix where you can really do a whole lot with it, and I found out that if you do half of that, mixed half psyllium husk, it creates the perfect breading coating that actually sticks onto your chicken or turkey, and you don't even have to do an egg wash. So it was delicious, and just had a little bit of ranch dip sour cream with that. Of course, another Quest bar. I know, not the best, but hey, I'm a real person. This is a lifestyle, and I had one, and it was good. And then a Keto Max limeade decaf. All right, moving into the weekend, had a busy Saturday traveling around, had another salad, really, really good. Lemon, garlic, dill pickles, sauerkraut. It was like ultimate gut health, and I used that whipped garlic that Fatty's dad made. If you don't know, he's Lebanese, and he has amazing Lebanese food, obviously, so it was perfect. Then, using that Love My Buns mixture that I mentioned, I made a pizza crust, which was so good, and I added kind of like a like a cheeseburger pizza. So we had ground beef, cheese, tomato sauce, olives, onions, sour cream. I like to go all out on the weekend a little bit, have kind of a decadent day, and that was definitely one of them. Then another smoothie during the day, two smoothies actually, a little nightcap one that was smaller in size and one midday. And then rounding things off here, I had pumpkin spice keto cream. Finally had my keto cream back. So good. My absolute favorite. 2 eggs, Brussels sprouts, bacon, onion, cream mix. Then I used the Instant Pot to make keto chicken chili with sour cream and garlic cheese bread with that focaccia bread. Oh my goodness, it was so freaking good, and it was approved by everybody. We had some people over for Super Bowl. Everyone loved it. It was definitely a big hit, and man, the Instant Pot, when it works properly, it works so well. So I loved that. And chicken drumsticks. We had that in the evening. I only had 1 or 2 because I was pretty full from the chili, and had a little smoothie just to cap things off watching the Super Bowl. Last little cheat of the week, and not even going to feel bad about it. Usually there's 4 servings in a little pint of Halo Top. Halo Top is a low sugar ice cream. Yes, it still has some incidental carbs and sugars in it. But friends, like I said, I'm pregnant, and I think that if you have ice cream that has a little bit of sugar in it versus ice cream that has a lot of sugar in it, you're doing well off. And so I still stayed within my macros, had 2 servings of Halo Top salted caramel, which I forgot was probably my favorite flavor, and hit the hay. So all in all, food was pretty good. Stayed very much within my range as you saw before, and from the pictures, do they not look amazing? I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for what's next. Okay, how cool was that, guys? You got to see my whole breakdown of macros, exercises, some of my favorite meals, all of that jazz in a nice little concise format. So I'm so glad that you guys tuned in for that. Just to wrap up here, a couple of questions been asked to me. First is, have you guys decided on your birthing options? And so in fact, we have. I wanted from the get-go to learn more about midwives and what that's all about. And some of my friends went that route. And so we delved into it, did some research, applied to a few of them in Ottawa, and unfortunately they were all full. So I was a little discouraged, but I forged ahead anyways. And then guess what? Out of the blue, get a phone call, Carleton Place midwife, they can take you. So we had our appointment. It was amazing. I met them, and we are going to be having our baby at the Almont Hospital. So it will be in a hospital setting, but through the care of midwives. They're very, very focused on you and the baby and your birthing plan. And I just love how personalized it is, and aftercare is going to be amazing to the home. So I just can't wait for all of that. I also get asked, are you going to take time off work? So funny enough, you guys know I'm a ketogenic lifestyle coach with Keto Better Life. I'm also a personal trainer with Goddess Gains, and I'm an independent promoter of Prove It. What you guys may also not know is that I do small business marketing for a lot of little companies out there as subcontracts and do some social media management. So what does that mean at the end of the day? Well, I do work for self. I love what I do. I'll, of course, have to take a bit of downtime. So what I'm planning on doing is having somebody or an assistant to be able to assist with this. That is my goal towards the end of this pregnancy. But then also I'm going to pre-plan things. I still want to have my keto coaching clients. I love it. But instead of giving them 1 or 2 meal plans at a time, they'll maybe have a month worth. So I have a little bit of downtime. So I'm just going to plan ahead. That's what entrepreneurs have to do. They have to adapt. And so I'm just thrilled to continue doing what I do, to build my team and to have an awesome support network around me to be able to support this pregnancy at the same time. All right, guys, shifting gears, week 14 is coming up the size of a brilliant beat. I'm excited for that. But here's what I would love for you to do. If you can please subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out the blog. There's so much more content that I'm not sharing here right now. And then also, if you're interested about anything that I've talked about before, ketogenic lifestyle coaching, check it out right here. If you're interested in remote personal training, I also still do programs right here. And last but not least, if you're interested in learning anything about the Prove It products, check this out. Okay guys, this is Jen, Keto Goddess, signing off for week 13 of my keto pregnancy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you like the new format. Please, as always, share, like, love, comment, and I will be there soon.